I follow this one guy online.
Get it, 17.
They don't know me, son.
Get it, 18.
They don't know me, son.
He's super one-dimensional. He's got great abs. He's in fantastic shape. He's got a lot of followers, but he's got the personality of a broken record. Super one-dimensional.
They don't know me, son.
Get it, 18.
They don't know me, son.
This is a reading from the Gospel according to Matthew. Glory to you, O Lord. When the Pharisees heard that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together, and one of them, a lawyer, asked him a question to test him. Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest? And Jesus said to him, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. The gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. So this guy that I follow, just seems to be super one-dimensional. I kind of wonder, this is all I hear from you, and this is sort of what influencers do, right? They sort of have a shtick, and that's what you get when you follow them, and you kind of expect it. But I'm like, man, what would happen if I sat down with you around a campfire and we just had a few hours to chat? And you just kind of turned off the influencer brain, and I got to know who you were. Would I find that there were some other layers, some levels to you? And I absolutely think that's exactly what I would find. And if I sat down with any one of you watching this, we'd begin to get into life together, and you'd understand and learn some things about me that you wouldn't necessarily get just through, a weekly video. And I'd learn some things about you that I wouldn't get just passing you in the hall or just saying hi and asking how classes are going, that kind of thing. We would understand the depth of who you are. You'd understand the depth of who I am. And that's what's happening here in the gospel. Jesus is telling us, there's a whole pile of laws, and we have these rules within our churches and stuff too. And for the most part, they can be good. They can help us build community. They can give us the discipline to get closer to God. But ultimately, the only one that really matters is how much do we love God, and what are we holding back from God, and how much do we love others? Okay? We're multi-dimensional creatures. Okay, you are a spiritual being having a physical experience. You have a soul that existed before you arrived on this earth, and that soul is eternal, and it's going to exist after you leave this earth. Okay? You have a mind that thinks about things and process, how you process the world. That's all going on in your mind. Okay? And you have a heart, and your heart is like the deepest place where God resides. It's like how God made you special. It's seated right in the middle, right in your heart. And so Jesus is saying, love God with all of those different things. And then love your neighbor the way that you would want to be loved. It's kind of that golden rule thing. It's another way of saying it, right? We might be tempted to only love ourselves. And Jesus is asking us to extend that same love to other people around us. Can you imagine if those were the only two rules in religion that we followed? Is love God with everything you've got and love your neighbor like you love yourself. Man, I think the world would change in some pretty serious ways. Outside in this week, is there any part of you that's holding back from God? For example, when you think about this idea of God and faith and, religion, all that kind of thing, maybe you have some questions. And maybe those questions are unanswered. Maybe you have some doubts in your head from those questions. And you're just like, I'm out. I'm not really interested in this God thing. I got these questions. I don't seem to get any significant or meaningful answers. And so I'm just not going to bother, right? So your mind is holding back. Maybe it'd be good this week to find someone to chat with those questions about, And once you get some of those answers, you got a little more to go on. And you're like, okay, I hadn't really thought of it that way. And then, who are you holding back from loving around you? Maybe this week it'd be good to just put somebody else first. And then in just a little way even, That would be a great first step in loving others like you love yourself. It's kind of cool to think that you and I could have a massive effect on the world around us just by following these two religious commandments, right? Love God with everything we got and love everybody around us the way we would love ourselves. Love you guys. See you in the next one.
They don't know me, son.
Get it. 18.
They don't know me, son.